All right, ladies and gentlemen, so let's go ahead and step into game number 1. It's going to be between E.G. DeMuslim and Rain Kiwikaki. I'm so excited for this. These two players are absolutely fantastical. And
yeah, that's the word I would use to describe.
Right?
Very good use of the English language there.
Thanks.
Gretorp, I love it.
Thanks.
Yeah, no problem, man.
I also would define this as incrossum. It's a
Ooh.
mixture of incredible and awesome.
Wow, you're 2 for 2, man. Keep it up.
Thanks. Actually, you're on a roll. You're on a roll
Me?
with me.
You're on a roll with this awesome verbiage.
Thanks. I try.
And, yeah, man.
Even
It's
though
awesome.
they're not verbs, but it's cool.
That's a good point. You know,
Just kidding.
You can say verbiage. For
I know. I'm
words in
just
general.
messing
Okay,
with you.
I'm like, wait a second. I'm pretty sure I know the definition of that word, and I hope we're not both wrong, because that'd be weird. But now you have me confused.
Oh my God! A 13 gateway goes down. Actually, it's a 14 gateway. All right, so let's talk about these players' styles a little bit. Rain Kiwikaki. Let's start with him. You know, he's always been known to be that innovative type of style, but a lot of times in his PvT, we've seen him do a very interesting brand. I know he loves to do a fast robo type of build. I've seen him a lot of times just go 1-gate robo, expand, that kind of stuff. He really favors just knowing his opponent and what he's doing. And then off of that, I've seen him do like just the old school Colossus, but instead of having like Zealot, Sentry, Stalker, it feels like he just has Stalker.
Yeah, I mean, Stalkers early on in PvT a very good unit, assuming your opponent doesn't open Marauders of some sort, you know, at least with Concussion Shells. That being said, though, you know, you can catch them without Concussion Shells. That'd be a really good thing. But we can see DeMuslim here not getting any gases in his main base, so this will be a 1-Rax fast expand for him, unless he gets rid of this probes and throws down like 5 gateways or something, or 5 racks or something, which we haven't seen since we played each other, Gretorp, and you decided to make fun of me.
Yeah, but I took 3 expansions before I did that, so a little bit different.
You know, you don't have to rub it in, man.
No, it's not rubbing. It's not
That's
rubbing.
exactly what you just rubbed.
No.
In the wrong place.
No. It's Valentine's week, dude. I can't
You're
rub
right.
it in the wrong place. It's always just good. You can't deny. Now, you know, we do see that Kiwikaki was going for the 1-on-gas expansion without the Cybernetics Core. He actually should throw down that Cybernetics Core because he has at already 600 minerals. He's getting his second assimilator instead, so really interesting type of build. In the meantime, DeMuslim obviously has gotten down his expansion. He went for that gasless expansion, as you said. You know, it is kind of nice for Kiwikaki because on a map like the Shattered Temple, we do have these slightly larger chokes than what we normally see. Normally chokes are maybe like 3 buildings across. This one is like 4.5 maybe, and I'm talking about like bunkers, that type of building.
Right.
So there's a lot of immortal busts that can work very, very well if Kiwikaki chooses to do so. So DeMuslim has to know that. He might have to bunker up a little bit more, knowing that Kiwikaki has a huge, gigantic range of builds that he could be doing right now.
Yeah, absolutely. I for one, I would be terrified if I had to play Kiwikaki in a best of 7. Not just because I'm a terrible player compared to him, but because of his builds. Like there's so many different builds that he has under his belt that I wouldn't be surprised to see, you know, anywhere from Dark Templars early on to some Warpism stuff, you know, to Mothership stuff. He's a crazy playstyle. So DeMuslim really has to cover all of his bases here, adding on a second bunker at his natural expansion. Hasn't changed that command center as natural into an orbital command just yet. Keeping an eye on that. There we go. Just now doing that. And has 4 racks on the field, so he's going to be favoring that bio right now. I'm looking at that Tech Lab probably going to start stim pretty soon here, or combat shields, I'd imagine. It depends if he wants to do that Marine push that Marines have been, or that Terrans have been doing lately. He has the money in the gas. Yes, it is going to be combat shields, so he's going to be pumping out a bunch of Marines, and he's going to try to hit a timing here. But we'll have to see if Kiwikaki can be prepared, and we have to look at what DeMuslim shows Kiwikaki. If he only shows DeMuslim, or if he only shows Kiwikaki like 6 or 7 Marines the entire game, and then like saves a bunch behind this, and then attacks when combat shields finishes, Kiwikaki could be unprepared, and DeMuslim could do a lot of damage with this push.
Yeah, what this particular push actually does is punishes people that don't go enough gateway units, and
Yes.
unfortunately for him, there's a lot of gateways going for Kiwikaki.
Yeah.
4 additional, he's been known to go, yes, up to
Another one.
7 gateways, a lot.
Uh-oh.
I've seen this in his PVZ especially. And this is going to be like feeding directly into KiwiKaki's build. DeMuslim is going to be in such a crappy position come, you know, when the combat shield's finished. There's going to be a big push out, and all of a sudden he just runs into mass sentries, which are the natural counter Marines in this early game stage, and probably Zealots and Stalkers as well.
Yeah, we'll have to see if he throws down a scan. I mean, if he hits a scan like above the Nexus, he probably will see most of the gateways over there, or you know, near the assimilator. But that will be very important. But that being said, the Muslim is going to be pushing out toward the middle of the map, the Watchtower. There is a Zealot there. The Marine here trying to stay on the Watchtower here just to keep the Zealot from getting vision of the entire army. But KiwiKaki does end up seeing that, and he's going to return back home. But good for him, because the gateways are just now finishing, turning into warp gates. And the Muslim could get he could get in a lot of trouble here.
Yeah, he will get in a lot of trouble. There's going to be a Guardian Shield that gets placed, and then immediately a ton of units will be warped in. Here we go. The Guardian Shield is committed, and oh, he actually force shields out his own Zealots. That is not good.
It's really good control from DeMuslim thus far, realizing after he got those force shields behind him, he had the superior army at that point in time. So DeMuslim now going to micro back away from these Zealots and these sentries. Not too much energy left on these sentries, and DeMuslim all of a sudden looking like he's going to turn this into a good situation, almost a great situation, I'd say, taking down a lot of units of KiwiKaki.
Big blunder by KiwiKaki right there. I mean, this build actually is supposed to completely devastate what DeMuslim is doing, and the exact opposite happened, obviously. This is really, really not good. But off of this, you can see so many sentries are still alive. We have 8 in total, and we're going to just see mass Zealot Stalkers, I'm sure. I don't think any more sentries should be popping up. Actually, as I say that, he's going to be putting up more sentries. So I guess KiwiKaki is just going for straight-up Zealots and sentries. That's it. And it's a really interesting style.
He might go for it right here. Only 2 bunkers at the Muslim base. He just lost a lot of his units, trying to rebuild up his army. Stim is not yet done. KiwiKaki looks like he's just going to go for it. With all these sentries, nice force fields in front of the bunkers, preventing the Marines from getting inside there. SCV's being pulled to repair, but all of a sudden KiwiKaki looks like he's in a decent position here. So many sentries in that competition, warping in some more. That's 12 sentries, Gretorp.
That is an insane amount of sentries, obviously, right there. He's going to wait a little bit. I think he should wait one more round. That's a lot of SCVs that are out there just waiting. And, ooh, nice force field. It's going to block out a lot of those SCVs. Those SCV kills are critical. If we can look at the income tab, 54 harvesters to 37. So right now, even if he loses this big push, he will be in a good position, seeing that he's so far ahead in harvesters. It's just a little bit of insurance in this, but I think KiwiKaki is going to be good enough that it doesn't really matter. As the force fields get played.
There's so many units there, Gretorp. All those Zealots taking away those bunkers pretty quickly. The Zealots getting dealt with quite reasonably here, and KiwiKaki's only going to be left with sentries, warping in some more Zealots there. But sentries do pack a punch when they are in a group like this, when there's a lot of them. They pretty much one-shot Marauders, I want to say. But, you know, KiwiKaki with a really strong push here.
Yeah, and right now DeMuslim is in a terrible position. Obviously, he just has Marines and Marauders here and there. He doesn't have his starport anywhere close to being finished, and now, because he has that position, he can now force field the ramp forever. That means this expansion is completely gone. He can't do anything about this, as he can't get units all the way down the ramp.
Yeah, DeMuslim just going to lift off and go right into his main base. A bunch of sentries still alive here. You know, you don't always see just pure sentry from a Protoss, but that's what we got here, and look at that, they're actually killing stuff. I mean, KiwiKaki looking great. He's pretty much doubling the supply of DeMuslim, and I don't know what DeMuslim does from here.
DeMuslim's definitely in a terrible position because Colossus are on the way. This is all just, you know, ticking down the clock right now because DeMuslim is just super, super far behind. And you can see the sentries, the utility of that force field is just ridiculous, and it's becoming such a nuisance. Well, it has been such a nuisance all game long. And now KiwiKaki is in his opponent's base. This is like, it's just adding insult to injury at this point, Axeltoss.
Yeah, it's painful. DeMuslim, again, desperately trying to stand this, trying to get a medevac out. You know, he does have stim, so I guess he kind of thinks maybe if I can heal my stuff and stim my stuff, then I might be able to get back in this game. But no, this is pretty much over. KiwiKaki up now 115 to 36, adding on a third Nexus to the bottom side of the map. Again, getting some Colossi on the field. And, you know, we should see a GG any moment. I'm a little bit surprised we haven't seen it yet.
Yeah, me too. There's not much that he can do from here, and there's going to be, it looks like the last stim coming in here. There are now finally Stalkers in the particular army composition for KiwiKaki, but there's nothing much DeMuslim can do. It's going to be GG anytime now. Muslim's playing scrappy Terran style. I like it. He has upgrade advantage on his opponent. That's one thing.
Oh, he does.
1-0 over 0-0. Not to be
1-1. Marines are good.
Marines are good.
So
I don't think they're that good though, Axel.
Yeah, you're probably
Unless
right.
I'm playing you, then they're really good.
I thought we were done talking about that.
Yeah.
Sure. Can't just keep bringing that up, okay?
How mad?
Or we're gonna have to have a show match, and I'm gonna have to destroy you.
Yeah. Okay. First Colossus is gonna get in here. It already has Thermal Lance, and that should be actually second Colossus. This should be the cue that Marines are not immortal, and GG's. So, ladies and gentlemen, there you have it. I mean, even though that first push looked really good for Demuslim and Kiwikaki did mess up like crazy, when it comes down to it, that represents a lot of the DPS that you need to defend against a huge push like that with Zealots and Sentries. And in the end, obviously, Kiwikaki was able to just overwhelm his opponent. There's a nice little trick that he did. On top of that, Demuslim did go for an early third base, so that just like adds to the inefficiency of the defense. Of course, he couldn't have known that. It's just really, really unfortunate for Demuslim because he was figuring, okay, my opponent's going to be doing something standard. Okay, I can get my third because that's normal third times. But in making that 550 mineral orbital command center, what you basically do is run your defense short by 550 minerals.
Yeah, absolutely. Demuslim, you know, he was in the same boat as us. He's like, oh, that was a decent trade. I'm okay with that. I killed some sentries there with those Marines. And he's probably doing some sort of standard gateway robo build, only on 4 gates or something. But no, Kiwikaki was on 7 gateways. And he completely took Demuslim by surprise. Demuslim, you know, was teching up a little bit behind that, was getting his command center and his orbital command, as you said, and just didn't have enough units, didn't have enough bunkers to deal with that all in from Kiwikaki. Well,
Kiwikaki looking really good. He's going to put Rain on the board 1-0, and we're going to go into Game 2 in a little bit. So join us after the break. We'll be back with the continuation of Rain versus EG.